All right, welcome back to Everything Health with Don J and Dr. Morency right here.
Is Carol Fester Radio. 99 Gems, The Bird.
Yes, and the one thing I've heard the government also announce, which it might, I think it's a good thing, but it depends on the reliability of the test. Also, test that you can get the results back in 15 minutes, a 15-minute test. I think they're going to roll that out pretty soon.
Well, yes, absolutely, Don. Because if you have to wait a whole week for a test, and you're not sure, and if you were not, say, meet all the criteria, if you didn't meet all the criteria, so you can think to yourself, well, I may not have it. I'm testing for sure, but if you have to wait a week, then if you don't quarantine yourself, then you're circulating.
That's right.
Other people.
That's right. Yeah, because
I'm glad to hear that they finally gonna have the test where you can find out the result in about 15 minutes or so. So you can know quickly, and you can make the proper decision. Basically, isolate yourself if you're not sick.
Yeah, okay? Yeah. Because absolutely, it doesn't seem to help. Doing a test and you're not be able to get back your result at least in a timely manner to know if you are sick or you have the virus, or even to know who's sick either. Because that sounds kind of fruitless. I mean, you're testing. Even if you're testing, you have to wait 5 days to get back a result of testing. You still don't get no result. You don't know where you are. You don't know where you stand.
Essentially, can you walk around in the dark with blindfolded?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure I can't, unless you.
Well, you're probably gonna trip and fall.
Yeah.
Or
for sure.
That's what happened. Right now, you need to have a clear vision of what you're doing, because at the end of the day, it's really people's life. And as long as there's that uncertainty, no matter how quickly you want to reopen the economy to get people, because I know I've talked to some business people, they are really hurting. Okay, they would love to put an end to this and resume their life.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't take care of business by identifying all those people who are sick or infected or not sick, the minute you go back there, the number's going to go back again.
Go back because, it's like you're going to deal with, a rewind. It's going to come right back, revamp, and you're going to get hit again a second time around.
Yeah, correct. It's like washing your hand, and the next thing you do, you shake somebody else's hand. Yeah. You don't know.
It's a rebound because you have to know for sure that this is the person, these people are safe. Now, here's one thing before we go to the break I'd like to ask you, Doctor. So they say that 14 days is the incubation period, I think. I don't know if that's correct.
That's 14 days. That's established until further notice.
Yes. So within 14 days, you have to wait 14 days to see if you start to show symptoms. Is that right? Because you can...
What it means is like if 14 days pass and you don't have any symptoms, you probably didn't or don't have the disease. Well, there's one caveat to this.
Yeah. Tell us.
Which makes it a little more complicated. In other words, generally, in the general principle, that's what expert says. Okay. But now you have a lot of asymptomatic people who have no symptoms, who are actually positive. So it makes it difficult to really put all your hats on, to hang your hat on this. But that's the general rule. Even though there are mixed reports about there are people who experience some symptoms anyway, but they're so mild they don't pay attention to it. Okay? Then in that case, then everybody has symptoms, but a lot of people don't feel it as bad. They feel it like it was a simple cold, and they go about their business. Okay? Because if you're totally asymptomatic, meaning you have no symptom at all, you have nothing at all. If that's the case, if after 14 days, then if you didn't get sick at all, then you probably
you're okay.
Didn't have the disease.
That's right, but
you're okay.
But the fact is, in that time period, that 14 days, you're asymptomatic, and you might have the disease, and you don't know, but you're still spreading the virus.
Absolutely.
A lot of people have been in trouble.
Absolutely. Okay. And then the other thing that's being debated at this time, And again, it's not to frighten anybody because let me preface my statement by saying that I'll repeat what most experts saying. This is new. We still are, uncharted territory, because there's a lot of things we are learning. For instance, with all this hospitalization that took place in New York, we already have an idea based on New York experience by itself. What is the percentage people who actually end up in the hospital? Okay, and it turned out it's not older folks in terms of that. So the number really of the bulk of the people, 42%, is between the age of 18 and 44.
All right, doctor, before we get into the age aspect, because that was going to be our next segment of the show, we're going to go to break and we're going to allow the listeners the opportunity, if they want to call in with any question and a concern, that they can do so. The number is 727-637-2416. Again, that number is 727-637-2416. And you're listening to, I would say, coronavirus talk with Don J and Dr. Morency right here on 99 Jams, The Berg. In coronavirus talk. Did I get it right, doctor?
COVID-19?
Okay, that's easier. Why did I think about COVID-19? That's easier to say.
Yeah.
By the way, what is the name of the virus, the actual, what is the official, I would say, scientific name of the virus that causes this disease?
This virus is SARS/CoV-2.
CoV-2, that's right. That's what I was trying to remember. SARS/CoV-2. Mm-hmm. Yes. So we're talking.
SARS-CoV-1.
Yes. So we're talking a little bit about the age factor. And just to remind our listeners, if they want to chime in, they want to participate, they want to ask questions, they have a concern, the number is 727-637-2416. Again, 727-637-2416. Now, doctor, what is the age factor? Because we realize that different people seem to have different effect, or the virus have different impact on our effect on different people. Different age for some reason. Explain that to us.
Correct. Now, what happened is, if you look at how the virus spread, there's a lot of young people who are infected, probably more so than older folks.
Mm-hmm.
And part of the reason is because we admitted already by the facts that the people who dies are the older folks. The older you are, the higher your risk of severe disease or death. And then generally it's been like over 60. It used to be over 60. Now they increased it to over 65, which is fine. So, but more younger people get infected. And what happened is the majority of the young folks, they get sick. But over 80% generally recover. Okay? They may be in the hospital, even some of, generally. There are exceptions to every rule, because there was a kid who was 20 years old, he died, he was on a respirator as well. But generally speaking, the younger folks, even though they may get very sick, they admitted to the hospital. They give them oxygen. Those who need a ventilator, they put them on a ventilator, but they're likely to get discharged and go resume their life. Mm-hmm. Where the older folks, by age, but the other thing is also it's the chronic disease. There are some really newer information that explain why people with heart disease and diabetes are so vulnerable. It's not just so much because those diseases affect your immune system, okay? And as you get older, your immune system diminishes, so it cannot respond to attack by any foreign intrusive agent as rapidly as if you were younger, all right? But now we know that and this is not widespread, but the reason I realize that heart disease is kind of top the list, because it turned out that the coronavirus can actually cause damage to the heart itself, not just the lungs.
Not just the lungs. Oh.
Okay, so so this is in terms of the age distribution. This is the general part. Now it turns out that the younger you are, the more protective you are. Okay, so that there is very few cases, although they just today report an infant who died from coronavirus.
Yeah.
But if you below 18, you tend not to get sick. You can still get infected. You can not to get sick. But ultimately, the goal is to protect the vulnerable, which is the aging population we have, and then those folks who are plenty. This is a country where there's plenty of people with chronic disease, hypertension, diabetes, cancers, people who survive, but they are in terms of protecting them, self-defense, they are the weakest. So now, when the young folks who think they are invincible, and party on the beach, Miami Beach and Clearwater Beach all day long, all night long, and they are getting infected. So what they do is they pass it on to
the family members.
Yeah. And because right now, the number I was going to tell you about is the New York number. So the people who are in the hospital in bulk was over. Let me see. It's almost like 80% are between the ages of 18 and 64. All right. So they are the one. Yeah, they are getting sick, but they recover. They are less likely, if they are healthy, to have any major problem in terms of what we call mortality. But what they're doing is spreading the stuff.
I see.
Spreading the stuff, and they are the one. They are also part of the workforce, and that's why one of the measures to isolate folks is they have to close the job.
Uh-huh.
Okay, they have to close the bar. They have to close the school because as long as the virus has penetration among those folks, it's gonna spread.